three about epilepsy secrets is basically this is how you do a U-turn on the road to hell. And find your own stairway to heaven because seriously, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. You have a lot of people in your life. They mean well. They they want you to stop suffering. I mean, they feel for you, and oftentimes they'll punish you for not complying to what their expectations are. So when I was having troubles with my doctors because the drugs weren't working, they were getting mad at me and telling me I needed to take different drugs and all this different stuff. And honestly, the recovery time was horrible, and I kept trying to explain what was going on, and we couldn't agree with each other. The language wasn't working. He wasn't listening to what was going on with me, and the more he put me through, the worse I got. So that I know he meant well and he thought he meant well, but like it wasn't working for me. And it's the same as when people do everything for you in your life and you're just left there not doing anything, you are crippling yourself because you need to be able to eat. I mean, eating's great. It's so awesome to be able to enjoy food. You need to be able to breathe and move around. So awesome to be able to breathe and move around. And the whole process is you got to do it. You don't feel like doing it, it's okay. You just got to get up and do it anyways because that's how you take back your life. Is you start moving. You say, I'm not going to let this slow me down. I'm not going to stop. You rest when you have to, and you move forward when you can because that's the only way you take yourself back from the road of epilepsy hell. And that highway comes so fast. There's that fast lane, just bam, there's a seizure. Hell again. Highway to hell. Bam, fast lane, seizure. I mean, it's a repeat, rinse, repeat, over and over and over. And you got to realize this is somebody else's road that you're stuck on. Somebody else's road keeps driving you back to hell. You need to find your own road. You need to find your own stairway to heaven. Because, again, only you know you and the whole process of what's going on with you. After years of experimenting with the drugs that don't work and medical marijuana that may or may not give me a seizure and CBD products that they're decent quality, but they don't stop seizures. They still suck. Been able to come up with a whole lot of solutions to the whole process of how to overcome epilepsy and seizures. And mostly it's you got to take care of yourself. I mean, if you're not, nobody else is going to. I keep saying this. So you got to learn how to eat right, sleep right, move right, breathe right. You got to go through the stages of life. There's 5 major stages of phases in life. And so you need to make sure you're moving through these phases in the right order and you have the energy to build up for the next stage. So these are building platforms. You always build a foundation before you move up. I mean, you can't learn your how to read and write until you learn A, B, C, or whatever the letters or languages you use, whatever the characters are. Like you need to know what the basics are before you do the next step. So we're going to be working on basics of like what food does and how to survive and triggers and all the things that you need to do to be able to not wake up dead. Because I'm telling you, that's what I hope the most for you is just for you to get the answers that you need because this sucks. You know, having people run around, tell you what to do, but not listening to what's going on and validate your whole feelings, the whole process. It's not enjoyable, but it is what it is. So we do the best we can. Hopefully things don't get worse and we survive or we get the help that we need because hoping in one hand and actions in another. I mean, you know, the other phrase, but for the most part, this is what happens is nothing changes until you take action. Nothing changes until you said, I have had enough of this pain and I want a place that looks better than this. And so you start to envision this place that's so much better than where you're at right now. And you start separating, you know, your pain and your pleasure, and you find a path. and you work towards this and a goal. And as you're marking it along, like with the Epsi app, you can find ways to say, hey, this works better for me and this doesn't. And it's really hard. Sometimes we forget, oftentimes we forget what's going on, and it's nice to have something to refer back to. I have light sensitivity, so the FC app's still a little hard. I'm trying to play around with the accessibility settings on my phones and computers to figure out the best way for myself to use it. But I have everybody else sending me records, which is a whole lot easier for me to look at what people are going through than to try to document what's going on with me. I'll be talking to them about that at some point. But, honestly, the best you could do is make sure you've got some method to ensure your day's getting better, that you're documenting your progress, and that you are responsible for whether or not you want to be better or whether you want to be worse. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. You have good, bad. Do you want to be in pain? Do you want out of pain? Do you want to be in pleasure? Do you hate pleasure? I mean, I don't know. Some people love to be miserable. So if you love to be miserable, this is totally not the program for you. You can be love to be miserable with somewhere else. Maybe I'll try to buy livetoBeMiserable.com and I'll send you guys some bunch of miserable people or something. I don't know. Seriously, it's all about love, acceptance, understanding through the process of compassion and evidence to find out who the best version of you are and how to live epilepsy well. Because you can take your passion back from the whole crap that's going on. You don't have to deal with everybody that's making your life miserable. So make sure you take care of yourself. I love you all.